Hey everybody, Jim here from Clockwerk Industries, coming with another video again. This time, this is the Job Shop short series where just kind of going over each one of the custom projects that come through here. I'm going to make a quick video when it's done because, like I said before, I think all these projects that come out of here are deserving of a video. The photos really don't do them justice. I mean, they look all right in the photos, and they even look all right in video. In person, they're pretty incredible. That's why I love going to the trade shows when I was at Computex, and you get to see everybody's work up close, and it's just like you kind of think you have what you think it might look like in your mind when you're looking at the photos of it, but then when you see it in person, it's just always incredible. But anyways, here's a project I just finished up for Nick. It's a manifold combined with a motherboard tray. He saw the one that I already did a couple years back. That's on my website right now in the portfolio section, and he's doing a double PC build, basically 2 computers into one case, and he's custom building most of it. And basically right here is the motherboard tray. Trying to get both of us. So got the motherboard tray and the cutout down at the bottom here. That's for an ITX motherboard to go there, like sitting horizontal, and then the ATX motherboard will mount in this open area here. And then you got some cutout holes for the cables. This one here, I'm going to kind of talk about in the next podcast. It was super tight, compact spaces. Like, these are definitely not my standard specifications for channels. You can see how it's bigger around the fitting than it is at the actual channel thickness. I had to shrink the channels down to about, I believe it's either 8 or 10 millimeters, and they're normally about 16 or 14. Normally it wraps around the size where the fitting is. It normally wraps around that thick all the way around is like the standard. Or if you want unique shaped channels, they'll be even bigger than the fittings, where you kind of embed like a reservoir or some kind of thing in there too. Either way, nonetheless, I had to try to make channels within these specifications because he's working with limited space trying to fit 2 computers into one case. So the first time around, I'll keep this up so you guys keep looking at it. So the first time around, by shrinking, I went too thin trying to fit the space between the O-ring and the channel. I put it down to about 1 millimeter. And as the O-ring was compressing, it was splitting that piece of acrylic in between there. You barely pick it up on the camera. You can notice it mostly when it's filled with liquid. When you see the channel panels and distribution panels with liquid in them, you can kind of notice that. So so that was the first one, and then the second one ended up having the screw holes are so close to the O-ring channels, an area there split. So I actually, is good because I get to show people, like, this is why I have these specifications that I work with, and I should have maybe took a little bit more, maybe done a couple tests on a couple pieces to see if these new settings, I guess you could call it, or specifications would work without having to scrap like a whole piece. Now, luckily, sorry, I'm trying to get used to using this gimbal. Now, luckily, it's 1/4 inch material because we were in tight space there too in terms of thickness. So it's 1/4 inch on top of 1/4 inch, and normally I require 3/8 on the bottom, 1/4 inch on top if you want channels on one side. So we'll tap the fittings on the top. That gives us a nice bit of material to tap into. Otherwise, 1/2 inch on the bottom, 1/4 inch on top to put fittings on both sides. That gives you a 1/4 inch to tap fittings and a 1/4 inch of channel depth. But sometimes you can't stick within those specs, and it depends what the project is, and it depends. Sometimes that's just not going to be an option, and I'm not going to be able to do it. But I'll do my best to kind of tweak the design and see what we can do and make the best of it. So this one ended up working out. But like I said, I didn't want to have to cut the base twice trying to figure this kind of thing out. Good thing is, moving forward, I know what I could do to kind of accommodate these kind of settings and see, have less error moving forward. So I just try to look at the best situation possible and, moving into new territory like this or doing something different that strays off the beaten path and make it work. So this one turned out great. I got some close-up shots that I'm going to be kind of putting through this whole video. And yeah, I mean, it's about the length of the video. It's about 7 minutes. This is kind of what I want to keep these to. It actually kind of ramble on pretty long. Once I get going, it's hard to stop. But should be having a podcast up soon. I don't know if it'll be before this video or after, but yeah. So if you guys like seeing these finished products here before they get shipped out, let me know in the comments. If you have any comments or questions, whatever, put them down there as well. And please like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for the podcast as well. Later, guys.